You must not split up with people by text. You must send a voice note. Or you must call. Because only men split up with people by text.
I didn't want to just hop on the call and surprise you straight out the gate. I'm with my wife 15 years, Shan, so I haven't split up with anyone in a very, very long time.
We have had we've had these communication conversations on the pod.
Hi, my name is Judy Russell and I'm a video trainer and producer with the Vid Academy.
Hi, my name is Sian Horn and I am a business and marketing mentor. I teach businesses what they need to know to stay in business. Also the founder of the Club Women's Network and Elite Pilates and bbell.com.
Hi, my name is Jen and I'm the founder of a paid advertising agency called Lemon 7 based here in Cork.
Hey, I'm Jay Woodard and I am the creative director at Ad32, a content production house that produces content for SMEs and corporates.
Today's episode is brought to you by thevidacademy.com. Are you looking to upskill in video production and storytelling? At the Vid Academy, we offer comprehensive training for all levels to help you master the art of video through bespoke in-person training and online courses. Visit thevidacademy.com to find out more. Welcome to episode 48 of Unbranded, and in a bittersweet update, this is going to be our final episode, and I for one am very upset about this because it has been just the best year of my life making this podcast. Like, it has added so much to my year, I can't explain, and we'll talk about all that, but I feel so bad for Jay because like we knew it was coming to an end, but Jay had to send a breakup text to 3 women this morning, and I don't know how you because we were going to go on to 52 and Jay was just like, look, we're all kind of busy at the moment. Like we've done as close as we can to a year. I think it's time we call it. Jay, talk to us about the composure of that text. And if you were like, oh,
it felt, it literally felt like a breakup text. Like it just, the analytics aren't making sense. That's it. Like, and this is a business podcast. And if the podcast isn't doing business, like it just doesn't make it. Like we're all busy, very busy people. And like, I love spending time with you. I've learned a lot. We have great crack. Like, I think we've become good friends over this podcast. And just the fact that we're obviously going to keep being good friends after this podcast. It's just the fact that it doesn't make good business sense to keep going.
Yeah. And you're right, you know, like the reality of it is that it's time consuming, and, you know, we pay Aoife to create the show, and Aoife does it at a really good rate for us to make it like super professional looking and, you know, and coming together. But he's right, like we aren't getting enough numbers of listens and we aren't getting enough sponsorship. So now I'm going to throw out a question to all of you because I don't know if we've cracked the code, because I think people are going to come to us and ask us about making podcasts and stuff like that. What would you tell people that maybe we should have done differently to started making money off this or getting more listens? Jen or Shan, I'll speak to you first.
Yeah, I think the metrics don't make sense, but I guess one piece is that there's 4 of us here and 5 with Aoife, and that's a significant amount of time a week. So let's say, for example, just before we touch anything in terms of research, the 4 of us sit down and do 4 hours between the 4 of us, and Aoife, you put in another like more hours than all of us potentially as well on top of that. So like you've got the bones of 7 or 8 hours before we touch research. And one big thing is that we did kind of keep a track of the analytics and the monitoring and all of that, and looked at what episodes did well and what episodes didn't. But we tried to make fleeting decisions or decisions on the fly based on that, as opposed to sitting down and being like, okay, we need a 30 to 40 minute probably prep session for any episode going in to make it like super retention based, looking at the different segments, how you roll, how we're going to like the first sentence of each, the last sentence of each, like all of that granular detail we just didn't have time for.
Yeah, and I completely agree. My biggest thing is we were never all in, you know, and this includes me. We were never all in. When I look at when I compare this to obviously my other podcast, bbell, exactly what Jen says, a lot of planning goes in, the collaboration times go in, it sits on everybody's platform. We all speak about it at the same time. There's a real structure and strategy to that. And when there's 4 of you taking the time that we've been taking to record this, to have that extra planning time is really, really, really just so difficult. So, I mean, that would be my biggest thing. Like, it has to sit everywhere and it has to be promoted by everybody. And like I say, that includes myself. I put it on my business page. It probably should have gone on Sean Horn. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of elements. But yeah, it's time. Time, 100%.
And Aoife, would you mind going through the process of what you do? So Aoife sits kind of like with their video off behind us during the recording of the episode. Then when you get the episode, can you kind of give us an overview of exactly what you do?
Yeah, of course, no problem. So yeah, of course, you guys sit down on a Wednesday mostly. And then straight away afterwards, I've learned very quickly it's very important to take it off and download it and make sure everything is okay. And if there is a problem, to like flag that straight away, because I think there was one or two where there was some issues, and I hadn't done it quite as soon as I should have. So take it all in. I edited it in Premiere Pro, and I found a system then after the first couple episodes that I could kind of keep a setup, so that when I brought in like the new episode, that I had everything ready to go. And then I'd mark off social media clips and do all of that. So that would take me. So it was recorded on the Wednesday, and then probably I normally got to it by the weekend, so I was ready then, all uploaded for Jen, ready to go on a Sunday evening, and then uploaded for Monday.
Managing the social media as well. Were you taking those social media clips and scheduling them then in TikTok and Instagram?
Some weeks, yes. Some weeks, no. It kind of depended on how busy I was. But yeah, if I was lucky enough to get it all scheduled and stuff, that'd be brilliant. But then some weeks, it'd be that before that I'd be getting it all ready
some
to
weeks
go.
Some weeks I'd get the text or email from Aoife being like, "Did you upload today's Monday? Upload that episode." Because she'd be waiting for me to upload to get the first clip out, and I'd be like, "Shit, Aoife, sorry, it's up, it's uploading as we speak."
Brilliant.
Okay, so if we could start over again, what would you do differently, Jay?
I heard a kind of idea when launching podcasts during the week. I don't know where I heard it. I can't remember where I heard it, but it was, if you want to get sponsorship early, approach 10 to 15 to 20 guests and have a lineup ready to go with audience sizes, share size, all the stuff, and then go to sponsors saying, look, here's our slate for season 1. These people, this is their audience, this is the reach we're going to have by getting these people on. It's this much per episode. Do you want to be involved? If not, and then packages and stuff. I think with that, like, as you said, like, it wasn't costing us a bomb to have Aoife, but it is a cost. So it's just have something in line for you that have guests in line. Like, I know we always said, do we want to have guests? I think we have one guest on the entire series. But I liked having our chats, the 4-way chats. I thought it was good. But just have ducks in a row. I think before you even press record, have a list of guests ready to go. Like Shan does in her world, she has a list of guests ready to go, and then she can approach sponsors and promote and that kind of stuff. Definitely.
Jen, if we had unlimited resources, time, money, etc., would you continue?
I think it's interesting. You said unlimited resources. Could be, when you said unlimited resources there, my mind jumped straight to I don't think we could have done much more if it was, monetary resources. It's actually time resources, and that kind of hindered us more so than anything. I think that's one thing I've changed. But the biggest thing, like, I'm still really eager, and I've made this no secret. I know I've chatted to probably all of you at this stage separately, saying that, like, I definitely still want to keep podcasting in some way, shape, or form. Like, it's not a medium that I'm going to drop just as a result of, like, this podcast wrapping up today. It's definitely something I want to dig back into. But how I'm going to do it differently this time is almost like that video you sent us. I can't remember, Judy, was it in the group chat or where you popped it, where it was the producers working with the speakers on the podcast to structure their podcast with the short form clips in mind, re-recording the hooks going into each segments and things like that. But what I mean by that is actually going back through the analytics, like, and knowing how I'm going to structure episodes, and like what Jay said, doing just the bit of research beforehand, and also potentially a layer of, not controversy is the wrong word. I wish there was a lighter word than controversy. A bit of sass, like a slightly edgier podcast or something like that. But it's all of that, but it still all comes back to the time and planning. Like, anything I want to do going forward is like, right, you need to triple down on the time and planning this time around. That was your mistake last time around.
One of our videos last week got a load of views on TikTok, over 20,000. And as a result, got comments as well. And one of the comments was like, oh, girls talking about technology. How cute. So I would say that one of the things, like, you know, if you're not creating content yourself, and if something that scares you is putting out your own content and getting obliterated online by negative comments and stuff like that, create something with a few people, do a collab. So if the negative comments come in, you can at least get used to them before they start being targeted directly at you. And you can
Guys,
kind of
I was
build
the
a
only
layer
one speaking in that clip. What are you talking about? It was me.
It was all of us. It was all of us.
And it doesn't always have to be 48 weeks. You know, I did a brilliant series with Pam Walsh, and it was a series. And it actually gave us a chance to see if it would work. Does it work together, etc.? You know, I already knew you guys, so I knew it would work because of the conversations that we have off screen anyway. But if you are thinking about doing it with someone, like test the waters first, do a series. But yeah, it's all in the research and planning.
Excellent. And I was saying to you, like, I was like, I think the podcast has definitely raised my profile in terms of, like, you know, so many people have said it to me, and I know we're only getting a certain amount of downloads, but so many random people I meet are like, oh, I listened to your podcast. And I'm like, oh, right. And I kind of forget that we do that. You know, I forget that it's public. But you were saying, you know, I'm probably the one who makes the least amount of my own content. Like I rarely post stuff online and stuff like that. So it's probably had more of a benefit to me than to you guys because you're posting stuff more regularly. But outside of that, Shan, do you think there's anything that it did to advance or help your business in any other way? And be honest.
Yeah, no. No is the answer. No, in the sense of, for me, like a personal development, 100%. You know, being able to speak to your peers and people that you respect every week is second to none. But did I get, did I meet any new people externally, business wise, etc.? No. However, I do love the fact that I can go into MTU and students are listening. Just students are listening to it. Because, you know, that's what I love doing. I love teaching people. So would my world be different without it? No, it would be the same with it or without it, I suppose is the answer. Personally, definitely for me, to be able to spend time with you guys every week was worth every minute.
That was been my favorite part as well. Jay, what has your favorite part been?
Yeah, just to echo Shan there, like it's been a personal development, getting to know you guys and getting to know like the friendships and stuff. Now me and Jen sit beside each other in an office, and the crack and the bands is huge. Like, and like Judy, we've worked on projects. We're going to work on more projects together. Like, yeah, it's just the development of. Like, we spent a lot of time together. Do you know what I mean? We spent a lot of time together. Like, I spend more time with you than I have with some of my best friends, and that's class. I mean, that's just, it's building relationships. Like, and it's cool. So yeah, for me, like obviously I have a lot of people saying we listen to the podcast over time. So, oh, I love your podcast. Or I told you I was going to West Cork to an Airbnb, and on Airbnb she goes, I love your podcast. I've never met the woman before in my life. But yeah, it was cool, and personal development was cool.
Can I ask a question, Judy, then? So if a sponsor swooped in now and said, guys, we don't want you to stop, would you go back to it?
It has to make sense. If it makes sense, then I'm all ears. Like that's my latest. Like since the closing of the fall of Huckleberries, I've learned such a valuable lesson. Like it has to make sense. If it doesn't make sense, you have to stop it. Plain and simple.
Oh no, look, I completely agree. I just actually when we did Ashlyn Downley's, we reviewed her page and spoke about that. You know, I got a lot of personal feedback from that. Actually, that'd be really interesting. Where did you get the most feedback? That's the one I got the most feedback from, that episode. Just because obviously a lot of my women from the club listened to this pod and they were like, would you just do that for everybody? And I'm like, it's not part of what we do at the moment, but maybe that's something we could do. But yeah, I see this as the end of this, but potentially there's something else. I don't know how that looks or what it looks like. But Jay, I have to say, you must not split up with people by text.
Well,
only a man could have split up by text. You must send a voice note, or you must call, because only men split up with people by text.
I didn't want to just hop on the call and surprise you straight out the gate. I wanted you to have some.
But not text. That's so like, like you watch these dating shows, and they're like, and he split up with me by text, and I'm like, Why? That's as bad as ghosting,
been-
Jay.
This is mental, but always, even on those shows where you'd say, "Oh, he split up with me by text," I was like, "Thank goodness! How lucky are you? Like, you didn't have to have that conversation."
Yeah, but I like Jay. Yeah, but I like Jay.
I'm
I
with
don't
my
want
wife.
Jay. I don't want Jay to split up with me. If Jay was an arsehole, that's fine. But he's not.
I'm with my wife 15 years, Shan, so I haven't split up with anyone in a very, very long time.
We have had
And
we've had
texting,
these communication conversations on the pod.
And can I just say as well, like, I think we've all come from partnerships that haven't worked, business partnerships. Yeah. But anyway, we've all come from a lot of business partnerships that hasn't worked. And this one has worked.
Yeah.
I think that there was never any stage where one of us felt like we were carrying the brunt of the work, or like the equality. Aoife was definitely, yeah. But that brings me on to asking Aoife. Aoife, overall, what did you learn the most from being part of this eclectic group over the past year?
Well, firstly, so much from you guys. Like, not only that, like, I'm editing it and stuff, but like hearing your thoughts on different topics and stuff. Like, you've created an incredible bank of information for like freelancers, self-employed people, students. Like you were saying, Shan, that, you know, students are listening to it. Like, that's incredible. And while it might not have been a success, like monetarity, is that the word?
Yeah.
Monetarily perfect, yeah.
Very good. The value that you've put out into the world is incredible, and the support that you've provided to each other, to me, I've loved every minute.
I have too. I think I know, and it is bittersweet. But like, I think, Jay, you were right. It is time to kind of, you know, wrap it up, and I hope that nobody is too surprised.
Listeners are going to fucking hunt me out of the ground.
I know. Do you know what? Would you be? And I'm getting all of your consent live on the podcast to do this. But if you're open to it, are you happy for us to launch the Unbranded AI chat with wrapping this episode and have all of the transcripts imported, so like that Aoife students could go in and ask it questions based on what we were talking about in the past and things like that? We could do something like that to continue the use of the knowledge bank moving forward, I guess, for anyone who would like to do that.
Yeah, 100%.
Love it. Like Neuralink, our brain is being like set out into the world as a legacy.
We should monetize that, girls and gentlemen.
I know. Do you know what? It's like, I was just thinking there about, you know, the even though this podcast necessarily wasn't monetarily successful, and then in the same breath, even though I didn't necessarily get new clients directly through the podcast, I made, you know, great connection with the sponsor that we did have at the start, with Jenny from Azure. We do a lot of work together now, which is great. Jay, I sit next to, like I was saying, I probably wouldn't have ended up in Take 9 Studio myself. And, you know, Shan, I've been getting more involved with the club and looking at the club side of things, which I never would have done like more than a year ago, mostly because of my network allergy really flares up. But it doesn't as much with the club, which is great because I really like the way you've structured it. You know, myself and Judy are going to be digging in on some course material over the next few weeks, and hopefully I'm going to pick Jay and Shan's brain on doing some stuff as well around that. And Aoife is not going to ever like go away, because I'm going to continue to hound her to do all of my video edits for more.
You met Aoife through the podcast, didn't you?
I did, yeah. So now Aoife, she does all of my Instagram, LinkedIn, and I have lots of work to send Aoife's way. She's
I'm like that little annoying mosquito in your ear, you know.
Oh, the opposite. I'm like, you're not the mosquito, you're like the little butterfly that I'm like, don't break, I don't have another Aoife.
Aoife's a lifer for all of us, I think.
Yeah.
That goes without saying. Yeah, no, I think we will all work together before this. We will all work together after this.
Absolutely.
And we do have to celebrate it. I think it's a huge achievement what we've done. And I think, thank you, Aoife, for reminding us how much value we've given to people, because a lot of my life is about giving. And so it's nice to see that other people see that. And thanks for the reminder for that.
You're very welcome. Thank you, guys.
And Aoife, now I'd say you're probably maybe the most relieved because you're doing this for us at a very special rate, and now it frees up kind of more of your time to potentially earn more income and stuff like that. But we dropped that bomb on you this morning. I actually did send Aoife a voice message.
That's very nice of you, Judy.
What's the difference? What's the difference
Really
between a
nice
voice
there.
message?
I had to laugh because what you call it, I only picked up my phone and my WhatsApp at 10:28 because I just hadn't been looking at my phone all morning, and I text Jay back and I was just like, Jay, I didn't see this right this second, but I had been kind of worried and expressing similar over the last few weeks and wondering, how this was like coming to, we had initially hoped for episode 52, and then it was, the last few weeks, I suppose, is not even difficult, but it's one of those ones where you're looking at the metrics because you're coming close to making the decision, and then you wonder, could the decision either be made earlier or later, depending on the factors around you. So there's a lot that goes into it there. But I was really excited for today's potentially teach me something new or to have something to talk about, because I bought a Remarkable yesterday and I'm so excited.
Talk to us. What are you using it for so far?
It won't arrive for a couple of days, but it's the it's like the Kindle Scribe, where it's like an iPad, but it's just grayscale and it's just for like notebooks and writing and everything. But I found that it syncs up with your calendar and it syncs into Notion and all the rest of it. And I don't know what it is for someone who's like, I would consider myself very tech savvy. I have never been able to fully transition away from a pen and paper. So this is my final stab at transitioning away some bit, because it'll transcribe everything to text. But as well as that, say, for example, the team on my end are always just like, you're kind of forgetting to update your tasks in project management systems. I'm like, they're right here. And I'll send a picture in, but now what I can do is just hit convert to text, forward to Slack, convert to text, forward to project management system. So I'm very excited about that. But they're pricey. I've had to think, like, when you go, my mother always said this to me, if you go into a clothes shop and you're humming and hawing about something and you go away and you're still thinking about it a couple of days later, just go back and get it. Yeah. Just go back and get it. Like, if you forget about it, well and good, if it's on the pricier side.
But how pricey?
I've been researching the Remarkable for like a year. I think without tax, €648.
So I'm going to say to you, I don't think that's pricey, because I think what you charge per hour to your clients and the hours that you're going to save without taking pictures or people chasing you, asking you for shit, you're going to save £600 within the first few months.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually did out the math in my notebook, and I was just like, I need to use this 54 times to break even.
The girl math.
Yeah.
Well, that's really interesting, Jen, because I think at the start of the year, we were talking about what we'd like to buy this year. And I said a drone, and I got the drone and I love the drone. But
I think I said the Remarkable now that I think about it.
You did, I think.
Yeah.
So I got the DJI Mini 4 Pro, and it is beautiful. I just adore it so much. But the other day I woke up at like 6 a.m. to I really wanted a shot of like the train going over outside my house across the bridge. So I was like, right, I'll get it up in the air. But it was a Sunday morning. And the trains are very rare on Sunday morning anyway. So I had it out for like 20 minutes and it was like, the battery is going low. And but then I heard whoop, whoop of the train. And I was watching a YouTube video, I've watched millions of YouTube videos about it now. And it was like, you can kind of overwrite the battery and return to home and just kind of push it a bit more. So I was like, feck it, I'll push it. So anyway, I got the most beautiful shot of the train going over the bridge and the birds flying away. And it was all very nice. And anyway, I was like, okay, time to go. Battery is critical. The drone is going to land. So I'm just looking across the water at the drone going, oh God, I forgot that your man told me to push the controls right up so that it would fly. It's just hovering. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, I'm ready to like rip off my coat and run into the stinking water. But anyway, I remembered then and I pushed the nozzles up and I could just see it like inching towards me, but getting lower and lower and lower. It literally scraped over the bushes at the front of my house and just landed in the driveway.
Oh.
I know. So now I'm like, okay, note to self, don't push it anymore. Like, that lesson learned. There's going to be a lot of lessons learned.
I
think,
thought you were going to say it landed on the train. Because that would have been brilliant.
brilliant.
That would have been golden, actually, if it had and then Judy off to Cork train station to be like, my drone is on the train.
That is actually, you must do that on content, Judy. The drone lander pretending to land on and then you chasing the train. But can I ask which one you got and how much it was? Because
it was the DJI Mini. The DJI Mini 4 Pro, and so that's the newest one in the mini range, and they're 1,150 new, and I got it for 900 secondhand. He'd only flown it for a few hours, and it came with all of the nice RC2 controller where you've got a big screen to see it, 3 spare batteries, which you need,
Lovely.
and propellers and everything. So, it's just it's amazing. But I'm a little bit scared of it. I've watched guys who were like, I've flown drones for 10 years, and I'm still nervous flying them. Like, they are a beast of a piece of gear,
Just insured.
But did you end up getting a drone as well, Shan?
I didn't. No.
No. We still have to have a drone day.
Yeah.
Because I do remember talks of a drone day, and my poor drone is actually just sitting there, and I haven't taken it out in ages.
And Jay, you made a beautiful drone video for one of your properties there recently.
Oh,
it was
gorgeous. For Coburn Co. Yeah. I to be honest, I only take the drone out. No, I say that, but I only take the drone out for corporate work. I don't I find myself very rarely going out for fun anymore, which is bad. But saying that, on Wednesday now, tomorrow, we're going to finish the short film I made, and we're using drone for that. So It is being used again. It's being taken out, but yeah.
Yeah.
And talk to us about the short film, The Western. I just watched it the other day. I was like, wow, huge crew, huge production. Like this, that was I didn't realize it was so big, and actors,
that's the one RTE bought off us, which was great. This one it's good. We got test footage back the last Echo. We're very, very happy that it's violent. I showed Jen a small bit of it. It's quite violent. Her reaction was shocked looking.
He did show me some of the props as well. I felt better about it after I experienced the lack of a knife going into me.
Yeah, because we have those kind of push-away knives that go in, that go back into. So it's going well. Excited, and maybe out soon.
Amazing. Okay, so our last question, because we'll keep this short. Aoife, what is next for you following the end of the podcast? Will you just have a free day per week that you'll fill up over time, or do you have some side projects that you've been looking for time to work on?
Yeah, I don't know, actually. I probably should utilize that time now to focus on creating that website that is still in my the emails thing that says website coming soon.com. It's been a long time, a very long time coming. So I think I might just take that time now and focus on that.
I have an amazing designer if you want. She designed my website. She's brilliant and she's very affordable.
Amazing. I love the work she did for you. It's so cool.
All done through Discord. I didn't talk to her in person once, so it's nice.
Incredible.
Where's she based, Jay?
She's based in Croatia.
Okay. Oh, amazing. We love Croatia, don't we, Jude?
We love Croatia.
I want to go. Yeah, it looks incredible over there.
Well, Judy got an upgrade. I don't know if it had anything to do with my reels, but Judy got an upgrade and had a stunning room after I was there. But it's just such a beautiful place.
It's beautiful, yeah. And the flights from Cork, I know Cork people are so proud of Cork Airport, but it's the best thing that we have. It's so cool to be able to do.
Yeah. Cork Airport better bring it back. They better bring it back.
Why is it? Are the flights to Zadar not going at the moment?
So it's a summer flight. So it finished you were the last weekend.
Oh my God, did not realize that at all. Okay, cool.
In fact, actually, I just got a beautiful package from Shannon Airport this morning.
Oh wow!
Shannon Airport's amazing, and it's privately owned, so it's not part of the other network group. And I love Shannon Airport because their retail, it's so supportive of small Irish business. So they sent me a lovely little pack this morning with a little picture of myself. It was very nice.
Shannon Airport was the sorry, this is just nerdy side note, but Shannon Airport was the root of how the Shenzhen zone in China came about, that economic free zone, because they were the first to do duty free.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was up there recently before we flew to Portugal from there, and the history there is unbelievable. The people who visit that. But Shannon pisses on Dublin Airport. Sorry to be, but it does. It's Dublin Airport is horrible, and Shannon will get you anywhere in the world.
Yeah,
it's class. Wow.
Yeah, no.
Did you fly to Lisbon?
Inside Porto.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, amazing.
Beautiful.
Jen, what's next for you after the podcast? You will free up some of your time, but not too much. But what are you thinking?
Not a huge amount. I'm going to fill the rest of Aoife's time anyway as job 1. And then job 2.
I'm going to get there first.
Yeah, all of us are like, I think I'm going to go back in. I'm going to seriously plan another podcast, to be honest. Like, I don't dislike this experience. I don't dislike the medium and all the rest of it. You know, with anything that kind of comes to an end like this, it's about reflecting on the learnings and determining whether you want to do it again and do it better, or if it's just not for you. And every time I've done podcasting, when it was like the digital marketing scoop and this, I've really, really enjoyed it. But there's something I haven't cracked there yet, and that'll irritate me until I do. So I will do that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Shan, what's next for you?
Well, I feel I am cracking it in podcasting with B-Bell. You know, it's a very successful podcast now. Series 5 is coming out very soon. And I love it. And it's definitely easier because it's just me and a guest. So it's easier to organise and to plan, etc. But I do love this. I love podding. I think it's brilliant. But I think I've got some reflecting to do. I've certainly decided, obviously I became very business heavy over the last few years because of circumstance. But I do miss spending as much time as I used to in the wellness arena. So I am launching a wellness studio in Cork City in the next couple of weeks. You must all come to the opening. And I hopefully will be doing another one very soon, beginning of next year. And yeah, a lot more eventing for me, a lot more emceeing. I did a big event in the Maryborough on Sunday with 130 women, all about confidence. And I just love teaching. So for me, it doesn't matter whether it's business or wellness, whatever it is, I just want to teach more.
Brilliant. I love teaching too. I think it's the most, it's just to see someone else pick up something so quick and eventually get better at you than you are than them. You're like, this is epic. Jay, what's next for you?
Just grow more. Like I have to grow my socials bigger. I was saying to Jen the last day, I'm afraid to post on YouTube now. There's 23,000 plus subscribers. Genuinely don't know what to post there. Like I've had a bit of a freeze on it, so I have to kick back into that. But yeah, just I need to grow my personal a bit more and grow that personal brand a bit more, get a bit stronger. I've been doing comedy videos. People seem to like them, so I'm going to lean into them a small bit more. But yeah, just personal brand needs to grow bigger, and I think that'll bring even bigger clients into the Ad 32 as well.
And are you using that website, Jay, for those?
No.
No. Well, you are. What is it called again?
Transitional hooks.
I love it. God, that was the biggest golden nugget that I've ever delivered on this podcast.
I think
transitionalhooks.com. Because and then when I posted it on my Instagram, the actual reel itself didn't do very well. But a lot of people in the comments put in an alternative that's apparently better. I'll poke it out and send it on and put it in the show notes as well afterwards. But
amazing.
But yeah, I've been doing a couple of collabs with Jay and Judy as well. Shannon, we'll have to do it as well at some point.
I'll have to come in.
Yeah. I just kind of make Jay fall over. I'm like, lie down.
I'm just body usually in the videos. I'm just body somewhere in the ground. Get me followers, I don't mind.
Yeah. But poor Aoife, I'd say you got a bit of a shock when you saw the batches of content from myself and Judy's.
I love it. They're so cool. so cool. I had so much fun editing them.
Oh, good. Okay, well, look, just to wrap up, I just want to say what an amazing experience this podcast has been. Like, I feel like I've a group of comrades and, you know, like every week learning from me and not feeling like I was, you know, in a silo on my own in my office. Like I felt like I was part of something, a group, which really worked for me and I loved every bit of it. But a special thank you to the 30 people who do listen every week. You know, we've got D Milkman, Keith Kennedy, like all these people who keep commenting on our posts. My friend Sarah Meehan, who's like, why do you never mention me? I listen to all of your podcasts and I want to mention, if anyone else would like to mention someone, now is your chance to say thank you.
Well, I still have to break this to my husband, who's going to be devastated.
Oh no.
So I give a shout out to Lee.
As Jay to send him a text.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's exactly.
I might have to join him to the WhatsApp group.
Jay will have to do a cameo every few weeks. Just be like, hey, Lee.
Yeah, hey pal.
So thank you all so much for watching, listening, and just being a great support in this journey that we have had. And we look forward to the next stage, whatever that might be, after we take a bit of time reflecting.
And thank
Signing
you, Judy.
out from
Judy, thank
What's
you for
that?
putting this all together. Like you this was your brainchild. You got us all together. So much love and
Brilliant.
appreciate you. And thank you so much for everyone who did listen and watch and all that kind of stuff.
This isn't the end. There'll be something else, we promise. So
You just have to
thank
see
you.
our face on social media. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Deuces.
Yes.